afternoon, everyone. I'm Kelvin, your host of Situation the Podcast, and today's episode was sponsored by Personalized Keepsakes. I know you guys probably wondering what is personalized keepsakes, but I'm going to get into that a little further off into the show. But today we have a special guest in the building, and I speak highly of this woman. She's a model, dancer. Um, she's definitely a frequent flyer. I mean, you name it, she's all about it. Without further ado, let me welcome you all to Secret Tasia. Secret,
Hello.
what's going on, Secret? How you doing today?
I feel like I'm delaying, kind of.
Huh?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm
Oh,
good.
okay, good, good.
Excited to figure out what we finna talk about.
Hey, you already know Situations the Podcast is a grown folks podcast, so everything goes. No, everything's unfiltered, uncensored. It is what it is.
Yeah,
So how you been otherwise?
I've been great. Just working. I've been, doing my Bunsen basketball thing.
Right.
You see me.
I see you out there. I see you out there
But
getting your hoop on.
right, I'm trying to do a little. You gotta be multi-talented.
Right.
You gotta
Absolutely.
touch
Absolutely.
several things.
Yeah, we're gonna
So
touch
yeah,
bases. We're gonna touch on that. We're gonna touch on Buns and basketball because there's a lot of questions I want to know about the last game you all played. So we're
yes.
definitely gonna touch bases on that. But other than that,
Okay.
kind of introduce yourself. That way, people can get familiarized with who you are and
Okay.
everything that you're doing.
All right. Well, my name is Secret, aka Secret Asia. It's really not one name, it's two names because it's two dance names. But Secret's more my personality, if that makes sense. And then I'm a model, dancer, mother, basketball player, as we just talked about. And I'm from Iowa. It's a lot of people in the city, like where you're from, that knows me because I used to live there and went to school there and stuff. But other than that, I'm just trying to put Iowa on the map
Right? Well, I
for
think you're
brown
doing a good
girls.
job. You're definitely doing a good job with that because, like I say, you stay busy, and I see you always on the go. So that's a good thing. You're representing your city the way you're representing.
Thank you. I try.
Okay, well, since we talked about a little bit about the buns and basketball, let's talk about buns and
Okay.
basketball. Kind of explain to the
Okay.
people what buns and basketballs really are.
Okay. So Buns and Basketball is a traveling league, and there are ladies from all over. Originally, the lady who started it, I believe her and the owner, they're from the East Coast. So, I mean, it's kind of the idea of what it sounds like. It's lots of buns because we play with boy shorts, thongs, things like that, but we actually do play. So that's the difference.
Okay.
Like, yes, it looks a certain type of way, but there's a lot of us that actually do ball, and that's kind of the point. But it is all about entertainment when it comes down to it, and it's ladies who are models and performers and porn stars and Instagram models and all of those things in one room, maybe in your city, and it just gives people the opportunities.
Right.
I might be talking too loud. My snake just moved.
Okay. Okay.
But
So
yeah, it'll be my sixth game when I make it to Dallas, which will be in Dallas this month on the 30th.
okay.
If you missed any of our games or you've seen like the hype from our last game, which was Richmond, it went crazy. Um, if you missed out, you need to come like
Right.
find
Right.
us in the city near you, basically, so you can experience yourself.
Well, let's talk about the game that was in Richmond. I saw some clips
Okay, yes,
from that particular game. I saw you out there
yes.
doing your thing. I didn't know you can shoot the ball like you were shooting it, but hey, I saw you. I'll be checking your workout. But let's talk about
Thanks.
that game a little bit. So, um,
Yes.
the game that was in
I'm not
Richmond.
gonna,
Go
yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna lie. So Richmond, shout out to my boy, OG Mafia, like who was the ambassador. But it was probably the most ghetto fabulous shit I ever been part of.
Okay.
I definitely had a ball, but it was not anything close to like what I like how things usually are.
Right.
And going forward, I hope it's not anything like that
So, I
again.
mean,
But
you
we
saying that, and
we
then
made the best of it.
So was it a bad thing, or was it just
Oh no,
okay? All right, because the way you were saying
it
it,
just
it appeared to be something
no,
like it was a bad thing.
no. There was
Okay,
all of, I could say this. There's nothing negative. Basically, it just
okay,
wasn't the same standards as like our other games have been.
okay.
And
Yeah,
in all fairness, like I explained to people before, like what they don't know is like so Buns of Basketball was just two people. And then they decided that now they're gonna kind of franchise. So they have ambassadors for these different states. So
okay.
it's kind of on the ambassador for the state to make the, you know what I'm saying, like
To
the
make the games
venue, the
what it
things like
is.
that.
Right,
Yeah. So what happened was we kind of and like I said, for Richmond, it's not like the ambassador. We had three different buildings lined up, three different gyms, three different places, and basically once they found out like the type of event we was trying to host, then
right.
they canceled on us,
Okay,
which tends to be the problem, you know, because not everybody is okay with what we do, even though it's not even like we're not stripping, we're not, yeah, we're shaking ass, but it's not the same as like we're not actually taking anything off. We're
right.
not, you know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
so they were like, I think I myself figured out this time that Virginia is a little more conservative than I thought. So then we ended up basically having to be in the venue that we were in and we made it work. We had to turn it into a gym because we weren't able to use any of their like already made gyms for our event,
Right,
which kind of sucked. But like I said, I can't lie because it was ghetto fabulous and a motherfucker. But
right, right,
it was still a ball. Like every time it doesn't matter where I go, like it's gonna be like when it comes to the buns of basketball, we always have a ball. But it was different. Like, and then it kind of went viral, and it was weird because it went viral because it was like the people from that city were like talking shit about the event. And it was like, that's crazy because this is like y'all city, like y'all's people. So I just didn't understand. But I mean, I guess I don't know, that's how they move down there or whatever. But you know,
right,
any type of conversation, good or bad, that's what I had to explain to the girls because this ain't the first time, you know, like we got like negative backlash or somebody said something smart. And, you know, there's always that one guy that wants to talk shit who's never been to the event, probably couldn't talk to any of us if he's seen us outside the event and is
right,
talking shit about, you know, the girls that participate and stuff like that. And that's just
right, right,
always. And then there's bitches too, you know how that goes. There's that female on the aisle, she da da da. But sweetie, you they wouldn't even look twice at you for you to participate. So we're not even having the same conversation. So that's just how that's just how
right,
that goes.
right.
Like,
So let me ask you this: the clips that I saw that went viral, um,
yes,
the clips. I think I seen some clips where you guys was in the lit bath tube, a tube of oil, or
yeah,
what was
yeah.
that?
So
Was
we
that
do.
halftime? Is that the halftime show,
Yes,
or was that the
that's
at the
the
end of the
that's
show?
the warm up.
Okay,
That's the end of the show. That's the cool down. So what happens is we play our game, we do our thing. During the halftime show, we act out. My daughter, hold on, my oldest daughter's about to come in real quick.
okay,
Go straight back. I'm doing an interview. I'll talk to you in a second. She's like, what are you doing? But let me see the background.
boys in basketball. There you have it, y'all.
Well, right? But no, we do. So usually we play the game, and
Okay,
then after the game, we do foxy boxing and oil wrestling.
okay,
Well, the past couple games, we kind of cut out the foxy boxing part because, you know, girls get in their feelings and emotions get high. So it started turning not so foxy and not so sexy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was
right,
like, okay, we're going to kind of pull back on that. So when it comes to the oil bath or the oil wrestling, which is technically what it's supposed to be, we kind of just get in and make a mess because that's what we do.
right,
Like,
right. Yeah, I definitely saw
and
that.
when it comes to yeah, when it comes to that part like that, so that's another thing. Like if you did see that, then you'd also notice that everybody who plays is not in the back. You see what I mean? Like
Right.
it has to do with certain girls, it's the ones that like we kind of travel with them
Okay.
versus like when we travel, but not all the girls travel. So that means like when we come to your city, we might just be playing you because you get to play for your city versus you being part of the league actually and coming with us when we go to the next city. You see
Right.
what I mean? So
Absolutely.
that's kind of how it works. So when it comes to like the oil wrestling and things like that, we usually try to use like the girls who've done it before because it's putting on a show, you know.
Right.
And they charge the guys to buy the bottles of baby oil. And you know, niggas is like, yeah, I want to, you know, because they want to be front and center. You want to be
Right.
right there because if
Right.
not, if you've seen the clips, you're gonna be like this, trying to see what's going on over everybody. So
Right.
you might want to pay for that bottle so you can be right there, at the edge of it. Like,
Well, one thing I'm going to say about that Buns and Basketball League. Now that the weather is starting to warm up a little bit, I think whomever the creators or founders of that particular league, I think you really got something big. I think it's going to be a really really big hit because I can see the
yeah.
direction that it's going in right now. So, um, the only thing I can do is say shout out to the Buns and Basketball League, and
Hey, shout out
you
Bunch of
know,
Basketball.
yeah, you guys keep doing what you're
Freeze,
doing.
thick overload.
Absolutely, because I really think, in due time, that's going to be a big hit. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do.
And the crazy thing is, a lot of people don't know, like, technically it started last year and it hasn't even been like a full year yet. Like, and like I said, it's going to be, this will be my sixth game.
Right.
So that just shows, like, we just started, like, this year, our season kicked off with Richmond. So our second game is going to be Dallas. And it's only going up from there because then we go to Cleveland. We got to go back to Philly. We coming everywhere.
Right. Right.
Like,
And then I see you guys got a lot of big names that's starting to participate in that because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I
hmm.
seen my girl Johnny Blaze in the last one. Right? Was she at the last
Oh
one?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny, no. So Johnny wasn't at Richmond. Johnny was in New York
Okay.
when we had our All-Star game.
Okay.
That's where you seen Johnny Blaze, Nicki Minaj, Zena
Right.
Monroe, Daphne, Monroe Sweets,
Okay.
Miss Natural. You see what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to my girl
And
Johnny
I
too.
feel like, right? Hey, I love her. I was just
Yeah.
saying that. And then she came out with her fun bullshit. No, I'm just joking. I'm not gonna do it.
Right. Okay.
But
Well,
no, like,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, yeah. And I mean, I feel like I was very privileged to be allowed to be part of it, and I am still like just relishing in like everything that comes with being part. And if any female out there is ever asked to be part or would like to be part and they get a chance, just take advantage of it because it's really about like it opens the doors, it's networking, it's things like that,
Right.
and it's not just buns and basketball. Like so
Right. I get
it's
you. I
more than
totally get it. Okay. Well, let's switch gears just a little bit. Okay.
that. Okay.
What is the most valuable lesson you've learned as an adult as a dancer?
Ooh. As an adult, as a dancer, I've learned to not trust a book by its cover. Like how
Okay.
people tell you, you think because you see this guy, he looks. I feel like most people seen Players Club. So, the guy in Players Club when she's like, oh, he's like, I love you, and she's like trying to run away and all that stuff. That guy, she wouldn't have seen him or even entertained him if she thought he was gonna be a bad guy. So I had to learn that like everything that people show you isn't what they really are, or what
Right.
they present to you might not necessarily be what they really are. And in
Right.
the strip club, that's kind of a big thing because I mean, just like I'm in there playing this persona or this character, you could be in there doing the same thing as a customer. So you don't know. Like
Right.
it's
Right.
just you just got to be cautious. Yeah, and don't trust people when it comes to like that outside shit between police and serial killers. Like no, no, baby, don't do that.
Okay.
Like,
Well, so with that being said, so when you're in the club, how you say you're cautious, right? But how cautious are
mhm.
you? Are you really watching your surroundings? Are you just really got your mind on you checking your bag, or
All of those, all
okay,
of the above. It's literally, I'm watching my surroundings as far as the customers in the club. I'm watching my surroundings as far as the staff in the club. I'm watching my surroundings as far as the other dancers in the club. And then all of that comes into play because at the end of the day, what I'm here for is to make my bag. And that's just what I'm gonna do. Like, but other than that, as far as like, yeah, you gotta watch everybody because, like I said, they might not be who they present to be, and that's from the motherfucker at the door to the motherfucker that's paying to come into the door. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, right,
so you never
okay,
know.
yeah, you definitely got to be careful in that environment. That's for sure.
I mean, I've had girls like befriend me or be, new girls, and mostly like we call them the baby strippers, but most of the time what happens is like new girls come in and then they end up like stuff ends up missing, and it's like, okay, well. it's been this set of girls for this long or this amount of time, and we never had this problem. All of a sudden, such and such showed up, and now shit's missing.
Right.
We know who the problem is. That's
Right.
that's what I mean. Like,
That was
yeah,
my next question to you. Have you ever had that experience to where you put things in your locker and or you put your money down in your locker and
yep.
someone come behind you, that sort of
I've
thing.
had I had my actual clothes that I wore like into the club, like my
Okay.
street clothes before
Right.
I got dressed, stolen. So when I left the club, I had to leave in a stripper outfit.
Wow. I mean,
Exactly.
is it that bad? Is it
Like,
really that bad to where
no,
they stealing?
I think some girls just I can't like some people are just like that. You know what I mean? Like there's some people just like they just like the thrill of like can they take it because like maybe it's something exciting to them or maybe they actually need it. But when it comes down to like dancers, like that's my first response is always like why is anybody taking anything when we're all in here to do the
Together.
same thing?
Right. Absolutely.
Like, but you know, but the reality is there's levels to this shit. Like I can't say that the club that I work at, I'll say I will give maybe a handful of females the acknowledgement as far as the level when it comes to how long they experience, when it comes to like the traveling and things like that. Other than that, everybody's a baby stripper. Everybody's new. Everybody's, they're still learning stripper ethics, things like that. Like,
Right.
so,
Okay. Well, yeah. But like I say, long as you paying attention to your surroundings, and you watching your every move, then you should be fine. So let's talk
yeah,
about it.
like
Let's talk about.
I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say at the one that I work at though, like in Iowa, because bars are different too. Like the one I work at serves liquor. That's another thing you got to be careful of and cautious of. That's another reason you just basically got to keep your head on the swivel because you drinking in this environment, like you don't know. I've seen girls get drugged. I've seen girls get, you know what I mean? Like so, I buy my own drinks. I'm holding my shit all night. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
so, yeah. It's certain things that you got to do to be cautious, like just to make sure.
Okay. Iconic moments. Looking back on your career, whether it be
Okay.
dance or modeling, what are some of your best iconic moments?
Hmm. Well, one of my favorite things that I ever did, I was on the cover of a magazine out of Long Island,
Okay.
and that was like a crazy experience for me. That was fun. I would have to say that was probably a highlight. Like I was requested to do so. He reached out to me, so that made me feel important. And this was after I was probably only modeling now. I think it's been about 4 years that I've been doing modeling. So this was within like the first year that I had did my first little like my real shoots, or I thought, like meant more than like my previous,
Right.
pictures I had taken before. Because I can't even say that those were necessarily shoots versus like what I do now. So
Right.
learning that and learning to deal with different photographers and things, I did like figure that out. And that was probably like when I got asked to do so, but then I got flown out and I had the cover and a spread and all those things. I was just like, yes, like I felt like I'm doing big things for this little Iowa girl. Like, and then when it comes to dancing, like, I mean, I don't know. I've been a little bit of everywhere. So I've danced with Johnny before.
Okay.
Like, um, and I mean, I think probably just my like when I go to the down south clubs, that's probably my favorite as far as
Right.
my highlights when it comes to dancing,
Okay.
because I am from Iowa and being from Iowa where I work and pretty much just life is mixed here, if that makes sense. Like I'm constantly like it's a mixed club. I deal with probably more white men than I do black men on the average when it comes to the strip club here.
And that's in your
So when I
that's in your you're
change
speaking on your
cities,
city though, right?
yeah, yeah, that's what
Okay.
I'm saying. That's why I
Okay.
said in my city. Like when I'm home, when I'm at my home club, I'm dealing with basically like older white men. These are farmers, these are CEOs, things like that. And then when I go down south, I'm dealing with the trap boys, the rappers, and that. So it's a whole different like, hey, turn up, it's a different vibe.
Right.
Like
Okay.
it's shaking ass and twerking down south and upstate. We actually like perform, like you know
Okay.
have like routines and actually dance versus just like, yeah, like,
Well, I noticed you said that you like working with different photographers, and I always ask this question.
yes.
Give me your favorite photographer.
Well, you, you've been ever since I met you. You've literally been like one of my favorites. You have to be probably my first favorite because there's only one other person that I deal with now, like besides you, and he's it's just because he's my home photographer,
Right.
and his name is Dub, and he goes by Active Shooter,
Okay.
and other than that, like. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I've worked with plenty of photographers. Like I've worked with some photographers out of like Georgia and things like that when I go like and do my magazine shoots, stuff like that, because
Right.
we're traveling, but I don't know, like personal relationships and constant shoots or more than one is definitely you and like
That's what's up. I appreciate that. I really do. It means a lot. It definitely means a lot because I'm like I said, I'm real big, um, on my name, and
yes,
in this industry, it doesn't take much to be blackballed from a photographer standpoint because
exactly.
all it takes is one particular person or several people to say something bad like, on your name, and they're gonna spread like wildfire. So one thing about it, I always make sure that I keep it professional. I keep it respectful, uh, and I'm always do what I say I'm gonna do.
Yes, and that's exactly why, like I said, that's why you're the favorite. Like, because you and him are probably the only, oh, I can't say every photographer, but you guys are definitely the only two for sure that haven't tried it at all. Like,
Right, right.
never even attempted to. Like, so yeah, that makes a big difference. And it makes me feel comfortable and like knowing like when we do work together that I can like I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna be fully comfortable, and the things that we're gonna do together as far as the content when it comes out is gonna be dope.
It's
So
gonna be dope, right?
that's just
And that's
yeah.
that's that's and that's all that matter. Okay, well, okay. Let me ask you this then: you working in the
Okay.
club,
Okay.
are you the type of female that hunt, or you like to be hunted?
I'm a lioness on the prowl when I'm in the club.
Okay,
Like
okay.
they know it's funny because like my little sister works with me and she says I get this look in my eyes before I before I go move. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, I'm like, you looking, I was like, you ain't supposed to be looking that close. You're not supposed to see the hunger.
Right. Well, I mean,
But
because
yeah.
I know it. I know it has to be one of the two. It has to be one of the
Well,
two
it's
in
like
that type
this.
of
So
environment.
like the club that I work at, it's a small club. It's like it's considered a topless bar because like in Iowa the laws are different. So
Okay.
like if they
Uh-huh.
serve liquor, you're not allowed to be totally nude.
Okay.
You can only be topless. If it's a nude club, then it's BYOB. That means you got to bring in your own, your liquor and whatnot. So the one that I work at mainly is a bar. So it's considered a topless club. So with that being said, because it's a bar, you get people that are coming in just to go to the bar, like so you have to a certain degree persuade, I guess, or make it like make them want to spend money because if not, really, they could just have their drink and go ahead and go about their business, and nobody's gonna think anything else because it's a bar. You see what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
so when I get that hunger, like I usually like I have regulars, things like that. But if it's a night where okay, it seems like it's kind of dead and we're just standing there and there's people but nobody's moving, like we do stage sets and then we just have like this little private area. So sometimes it works like if you do a set, then every like the people come up to the stage and it's like, okay, when you get down, come talk to me, things like that. But I don't necessarily like to go on stage like that. So I am crawling the floor as like they're on stage and I'm like okay like he's not really paying attention to this girl that's on stage so I'm looking like okay compared to her this is what I look like maybe it's different skin tones different body types different like that's literally what I'm looking at so I'm like okay he's not interested let me try like you know what I mean like
Right.
and I will try any and everybody. I danced with this one guy that pretty much every girl in the club, like, and this was last night. They said that he was racist, which was really funny because he really wasn't. Um, but they were like, oh, he's rude. He said this about every girl. Da, da, da. And when I say that man literally did kind of go down the list of the dancers and was like, naming off, what he thought was wrong. And I was just looking at him like, mind you, this is an out of shape guy. He's not, the sexiest man in the world, like older, like, if he weren't in here with money, buddy, probably we wouldn't be paying attention to you. Like,
Right.
so
Right.
the fact that you're in here, like, trying to tear down every girl is crazy. Like, but at the same time, after all that being said and done, for some reason, he was just like completely infatuated with me. And it was hilarious because they kept saying like, "Oh, he's being rude. He's broke. He won't tip nobody. He won't buy no drinks." And by the end of the night, I had that man's whole wallet. He went to the ATM probably twice. Like it was like you just got to know
You
how
gotta know,
to,
right? You gotta know
like
what you gotta know what you're doing. You gotta know what you're doing.
gotta know how to do what you do.
Well, with
Like
that being said, how do you manage stress and avoid burnout in today's fast-paced industry?
honestly, I don't. I can't lie. There's days when like I'm like, cause I go so hard, and then there's literally days where I just like I wake up and I'm like, no, I'm over it. As soon as I wake up, like I'm in the bed. I smoke, so like I'll smoke. I don't want to do nothing, just be lazy. I don't want to, get dressed up or do my hair and things like that. So I'm throwing on, the big sweatshirt or the oversized t-shirt, and I'm just in there. Like that's just
Right.
how I kind of.
So
Cause
you just
between my real life and then like my dance life, my model life, things like that, like it is sometimes hard to balance because I am, like I said, a single mom. So it gets stressful. Like, and there's times when I'm like, oh my God, like, I smoke. So every once in a while, like my mom will say something smart. She's like, oh, you need to do this, you need that. I'm like, listen, y'all are lucky. The way I be feeling, y'all lucky I ain't doing crack or out here on a murder spree. like, I'm
no,
just
we don't
joking though,
we
but
don't want
still,
you to, right. We don't
like,
want you to start doing crack.
and be
Oh
like,
goodness.
crack is whack.
Right.
Like, but no, that's just a joke, like, cause sometimes it does get stressful. Like,
Right. I
and
can
there's
imagine.
there's times when there's times when like I'm not gonna lie, like I don't feel the best and like I need or my girls need, I'm gonna make sure I go get it. Things like that. But
Right.
it does get there's times when I just wanna I'm through. But I won't ever actually do that because there's more than two, but there's for sure two people that's dependent on me. So that's not possible.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely. And those kids come first by all means.
yeah. But really fuck them kids. No, I'm just joking.
Oh shit. Okay. Well,
I'm
let me
just
ask you
joking.
this.
I always said that because they standing in the hallway and they like, "What are you doing, mom?" Like,
All right. Well, let me ask you something. Let me ask you this. And I've asked
okay,
every model that come on the show or every dancer that come on the show. I asked them this same question because I like to see what everybody's opinion is as far as their intimacy. Okay.
right?
Now, do size matter to you? And if so, why?
Yes. If it's too big, I don't want it. And I know that's probably like the contrast to what most females say, but in all reality, no. Like the whole like, oh, a mandingo and all that and all like it sounds good, but I don't. I like my insides normal. Like I don't need my shit,
Right.
like I like an average as long as they know what they doing,
Right.
we gonna be great. I'm
When
gonna
you
do the
say
rest.
when you say average,
Like,
now when you say average, when you consider what do you consider average?
okay, so for me, I say average is like between like 5 to 7.
Okay.
So like yeah, like a little more than that, okay. But like I said, the dudes that be coming with like the foot and shit like that, no, no, thank you, sir. Like,
Now you the first
and
person
I'm
that
not gonna lie, but another reason that I feel like that to a certain degree is because I mean I am a freak and I like to show out. So I'm more of a giver than a receiver, if that makes sense. So if I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, which is like obvious what I'm talking about, I don't. Again, we don't need a foot. Like I need my shit to be like
right, right,
yeah intact. Like you gonna love it, but don't kill me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
I need
right.
to be able to yeah like
So that was a great segue into the next question. So, with that being
okay.
said, what has been some of the strangest places intimacy have took place?
I did it on a Ferris wheel before, like while we were like on the ride.
How the hell you pull
Like,
that off?
okay, so like in like the big like in our state they have like these huge ones and they like go around a little bit and then they stop and then they
Right.
kind of go around a little bit, stop, go around. So yeah, I just when we first got in, we started off next to each other like we were supposed to be, and then I just politely, climbed on top of them, and as we rotated, we just kept it moving. And by the time we got to the bottom, I got off and was back in my seat. Like,
Okay. Give me some other spots.
let's see. Well, that was crazy. I have in like a public restroom before. That's bad though. That's one of those like I used to do ecstasy, and it was kind of like, okay, let's get it in right now. Like we're going
Right.
in here right now. Like these motherfuckers next to us, like, oh my god, what are they doing? Like, it's like mind your business, mind your
Well, well,
business.
I'm pretty sure you have tons and tons of freaking flyer miles.
Yeah, I've never done anything freaky on a plane. I have yet to do that. I haven't joined the Mile High Club.
Well, I'm still trying
I'm
to get
thinking
that.
about it though, because I listen. I got a partner that's I don't know how it's gonna work though, because he's a pilot, right? So I don't know how he's gonna fly the plane, and then we play on him. I don't see. I'm trying to figure it out.
I've
Like,
been to
because we
fuck
ain't
around
trying to
and crash
crash.
that plane. Fucking plane be upside the mountain somewhere.
They're gonna be like today. Like,
Right. Nah. I wouldn't try that. I prefer you guys wait till the plane land and get to a safe destination before you try
right.
to pull that one off.
He might listen. He might have to ask a friend to pilot for him while he's on the plane. I'm down with that. Because it's his plane, so
Right.
hey.
Right. Okay. Transitions. How easy has it been to transition from modeling to dancing or dancing to modeling?
It's really not. Um, like anybody who was like looking from the outside in, if they don't really know me, it looks like, oh damn, like she just did this, and all of a sudden she's doing what she's doing. But people who really know me, they're like, I've been watching you. Like, damn, you've been working. Like, I see, like where you started versus where you are now. And
Right.
like, I just the other day, I posted a throwback, and it was literally my very first magazine shoot, and that was
Right.
4 years ago. And being first of all a black girl, like a black woman in this industry, it's hard when it comes to the modeling part because we not necessarily what they looking for unless it's specifically something about us that you know what I mean, like that they want. Like so
Right.
me when I get like now I'm starting to get reached out by like or like reached out to by like white photographers, different magazines like Ink magazine, things like that because I'm covered in tattoos as a
Right.
black girl. That's
Right.
rare for them. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and I'm okay with that. But at the end of the day, it's still like, oh my goodness. But at the end of the day, it's still weird because it's like that's what it took for me to get acknowledged, like or something like that. Because I couldn't just go to a regular, um, like a fashion show, things like that. Like they're not gonna. I'm not tall enough. I'm too thick. I'm too. You know what I mean? Like so, it's like there's so many things when it comes to being a model, especially depending on which part of the industry when it comes to modeling that are I guess are like critiqued
Right.
that it's hard. Like and like I fluctuate like my body weight fluctuates constantly because like that's just normal. But and I don't have the I don't not saying anything's wrong, getting your body done, things like that. I just don't have the means to do so. And I also don't
Right.
have the desire to do so. So that
Right.
means that naturally I'm going to go up and down. So that means there's one magazine looking at me like, damn, okay, she's thick, she can be in this magazine, but then I look up and then they're like, okay, no, you're not thick enough. You don't have da da da. And I'm like, what? Like, so I need to gain weight? Like, and like, so you just never know, like trying to fit into, I think like I don't know. Like I said, the best thing is probably just me being me. I just try to stay true to myself when it comes to the industry, and I try to stay away from the weird shit because lately I've been getting a lot of weird shit too, as far as offers. Um, as far as people like wanting to do certain photography and things like that. But like you said, everybody, it's weird. Like just because they call themselves a photographer doesn't mean they are a photographer.
Absolutely,
Like
and I stand on that
so,
10 toes down.
yeah.
Okay, well, let me ask
But
you
that's
something.
probably it.
This
Yes.
has been a viral moment. Um, the other day, per Instagram, I heard a
Mhm.
young lady was talking about women's maintenance, and when I say
Yes.
women's maintenance, I mean your wax,
Hygiene.
your hair, your
hmm
nails, your facial, your lashes, and things of that nature. Okay, what I want to know from you is whose responsibility is that? Let's say, for instance, you talking with a guy, and then you tell a guy, hey, I'm gonna go get my face done, I'll get my toes and nails done, and I need to go get a wax and what have you. And he say, okay, well, here, he sends you $100, right?
Okay.
Even though we
I'm
know,
gonna say thank you.
right? Even though we know a hundred
Okay.
dollars was not cover a wax, a facial, your
Right.
toes or your nails, but it's a simple
It
gesture,
might not. I was gonna say it might not cover the total, but it's gonna help. Like, and depending on the type of, I guess, depending on the type of guy you deal with, or depending on the type of female she is, like, if that was like, if he was willing to offer, that might have been a big thing. You know what I'm saying? Like for him, and then for her, like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of these females have this weird, like, self-inflated reality, if that makes sense.
right?
Like I know I'm a bad bitch. I happen to be one of the baddest in my city. Like I happen to be known as far as like, if you want to say like a hood celebrity, things like that. But at the same time, I don't feel like I am like, if I'm dealing with a dude, if he likes me because of how I look or my maintenance stuff, I did all that before him.
Right,
That's how
absolutely,
I met him, right?
right,
So that doesn't mean once I start dealing with him, now it's his responsibility, because that doesn't make sense. How about he does other stuff or nothing at all? And depending on what the relationship is, like, I don't know. I think it's weird. Like, I think females really have this weird, like, lately, they have this weird, like, self entitlement. It's like, I don't know. Like, and I don't know. It's weird.
right. I
I feel
think it's
like with
kind of
my
weird.
dudes, I'm okay with 50-50, or I got it this time if you don't got it, or go ahead and put that away so we can do whatever. Like I don't know. But I can't
Right,
speak for all females when it comes to
right.
that. Like
I think it's just me personally. I think it's just the social media era. They got a lot of these.
yeah.
I ain't gonna even say women. I'm gonna say young girls. I'm gonna use that
Yep.
terminology because a grown woman would know better.
Knows better.
You know, a grown woman would know better. A young
Especially
woman,
all this like that expecting everything but not trying to give anything. That's
right,
just crazy.
right.
Like
Like I
that's
said,
crazy.
this particular scenario that we speak on, she felt that she was entitled to have that whole bill covered by some man, and I feel
Is this
that's
and
absolutely
who is the
ridiculous.
man to her?
Well, that was never
Who is the
established. That was never established. So I'm just gonna
But
assume
that's what I'm saying. Like, so it's just a random man maybe like trying to slide in her
trying
DM. So she's like,
absolutely.
"Oh, you want my attention? You got to do this."
That's the way I took it because for him to even a simple gesture as even giving you the $100, you should have been appreciative of that, opposed to making it
Yeah,
seem like, well, this not enough.
basically made a status and like try to expose him. Like, "Oh, look what he gave me."
Right.
But it's females dealing with men like that are their husbands or living with them as boyfriends or whatever you want to call it, and they're not doing nothing for them. So the fact that you think this stranger, just because he tried to get your attention, should do something for you is crazy. Like,
I don't like I say. I think
it's
it's just
crazy.
these younger women, you know, so caught up in this social media area, this social media era. It
Right.
just it's just got their way of thinking all discombobulated. And I know
Definitely.
that you have to know better. You have to know better. Well, okay, let me ask.
I feel
So
like, you know what? I feel like they try it, and it's a try. Like, so if it don't work, it don't work. You know what I'm saying?
but
Like
then here's
maybe,
the
and
thing
that's where the
though.
whole like, oh, if you don't do it, the
But no,
next
no,
one
no,
will. But
no,
that's
no
not
secret.
true.
But here's the
Like,
thing though.
like
Here's the thing though. If it don't work, that man get bashed to death. Oh, you broke. Wait a minute.
But
If you can't afford to get your
she
nails
broke.
done, you got to be broke too.
She's she's broke. That's the
Right.
problem.
You shouldn't have to. This is your maintenance. You shouldn't have to have nobody. You shouldn't need nobody to help you take care of your maintenance, especially if
Yeah.
you're not. If this is not your man. If it was somebody
Like I
just trying to
said, right.
talk to you, then that's different. But if this man is not your man, he shouldn't have to. He shouldn't have to flip that bill. He shouldn't have to flip. This
Nope.
is your maintenance. You the one wanting to get your face done, your toes and your nails and your hair and your wax.
And
That's
that's
your
right.
maintenance. Not
It's
he.
just like, look, like my dad always used to tell me, he's like, it's called self-esteem for a reason. Like, you know
Absolutely.
what I mean? It's like, it's about you. It's the same thing. That's your maintenance. So for me, I'm gonna make sure all that shit's taken care of to the point where it's probably already taken care of when Buddy sent me that $100. So like I said, I'm gonna say thank you and keep it moving because it's still $100.
Right.
It might not have helped towards whatever I was gonna do because I already had that done.
Right.
Like,
Right.
but
Well, I don't get
that's
it.
just the difference. Like, I don't
Like I
know.
say,
Yeah.
it's just the social, and I'm like I said, I'm blaming it on the social media era. I'm blaming it on this era because it's just
It really
ridiculous how
is.
some of these young girls think. Right? Like I said, I'm not gonna say women. I'm gonna say young girls because women know better. If you knew
I
better, you
feel
would do
like
better.
it's social media when it comes to everything because it's just like okay, like the baby strippers. You see the dancers that are you see these clips of girls running through money on the ground and it looks like water, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
okay, so then you think, oh, I want to be a dancer, and then you go and you barely made $20. Or you barely made, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, oh well, what is she doing that I didn't? Some things are just not for you.
Right.
So same thing. They made it seem like it's bad for a man to have a real job. Like, oh, if you ain't like if you're not hustling, da, da, da. What? That don't make no sense. Boo boo. Do you not want your man? Are you like okay with risking the fact that he might not come home at night? I'd rather have mine go do it 9 to 5. Like I'll hustle. I'll make the extra money so we can play if that's what you want to do. But I don't want to risk having the dope boy or the you know what I
Okay.
mean? Like
Well,
that's
check. Hold that thought
that's
for one
silly.
second.
Like
Hold that thought for 1 second because that's gonna be a segue into my next question. Let me pay a bill real quick. Good afternoon. I'm Kelvin, your host of Situations the podcast, and today's episode was sponsored by Personalized Keepsake. So let's unlock timeless memories with personalized keepsakes, where they're crafting personalized clocks and personalized keychains for cherished moments. Get yours today by calling 312 456 0001. Once again, that's 312 456 0001 and tell them Kelvin sent you. Okay, now, perfect segue into this next question. For you to date a man, does he have to make a certain amount of money?
no.
For
I
what's
don't.
the what's
And
the
this is what
least he
I'll
can
say.
make?
I won't. I'm not gonna say anything stupid and sound ridiculous, like, oh, I would just be with, like, say, like some homeless guy on the street. That's not a reality. That's not anything that I would just do. But I don't have a problem dealing with, somebody who's not 100% in their situation as far as like, his crib might not be the greatest, or he got a regular job or he makes this amount of money compared to like what I make. I feel like when it comes to relationships and actually dating someone, it has to be more than that. Because like I said, I've been in situations where it's 50-50, or it's okay, I'm taking you out versus like you taking me out, and it made a big difference.
Okay.
So I don't know. Like I don't have a particular number, I guess. That would sound silly. Because then that'd be like some dude dating me and be like, okay, as a dancer and a model, you gotta make all this. Like, I'm gonna look at you like, yeah, okay, get on my face. Like,
Okay. Well, let me ask you this: does he have to? Well, I know you said that it doesn't make a
he
difference to
has to
you,
he has to make some type of money.
right? When you
Like
say
he
some
has
type,
to
let's put
try.
a number. Put a number. Let's put a number on it. No, are we talking
No, I
with?
don't. I don't. I'm saying like I don't have a number. Like if he listen,
Okay, let's
if
say
he's going out,
30,000. Is 30,000 enough?
I guess we never. This is my thing. I don't. I can't say that because that's the large number. That's like the total versus what's happening as we're together. Like I don't look. That's why I said I don't look at it like that. I feel like I've been with dudes who've been broke, staying at their mama's crib. with nothing, and then I get it to the point where okay, they got a job now, they got a car, you know what I'm saying? Like shit's better. Like sometimes you just gotta be with a motherfucker. And then I've been with
Right.
motherfuckers who have all their own, and they
Right.
treat you a certain like I don't know, like I don't. There's no number for me. I don't have a particular number. I'm not that girl that's gonna be like, oh no, he gotta make 60K and then because that no, that doesn't make
Okay.
sense.
I
Like,
mean, I can respect that. I mean, I have no. I can
yeah.
respect that because
I don't think it's a realistic, like I said, these girls are like silly out here. Like what? Like how can you like not me specifically because I make money constantly. Like every day I'm touching something. But there's a lot of girls who's not doing nothing and then you sitting here talking about oh like you just said this man got to make 30K, this man got to make 60K. Sweetheart, you don't look like you made $60. So how is it okay for you to be trying to tell this man he got to make this or that to fuck like to mess with you? Like it don't make no sense.
right. Because
Like, what is it about you that deserves $60,000 or $30,000? Like, what do you like? If you're not doing anything for yourself to try to get that, why should he have to give you his money? Like,
I agree. I agree one
I
hundred
just think
percent.
it's silly. Like,
Because
I just think it's silly.
per social media, one girl said that he has to make six figures. She would only date a man that's making six figures or more. And the interviewer asked her, "Well, do you what do you work?" She said she didn't have a job.
Hmm.
She didn't have a
Exactly.
she didn't have a job. Okay,
That's my point.
you want someone to make six figures, but you don't have a job. So with that being said,
Okay, I got a question. What
uh,
was she? Did they ask her what she was willing to offer since she didn't have a job
right,
in exchange for
that
that
was my
six
next
figures?
thing. That was the next thing he asked. He said, "Well, okay, well, by you not having a job, what is it that you bringing to the table?" She stated, "I can cook, I can clean, and I got good pussy." But
Okay.
my thing is
Those
this.
are all those are all good things to have, but you need your
Yeah,
own
but you can
money
get that
too.
anywhere. You can get that
Like,
anywhere.
exactly.
That's not
Well,
bringing
not
nothing.
necessarily,
That's
but
not bringing nothing to. Well, that's not bringing nothing to the table, though. You're
yeah,
not bringing
no.
nothing
I
to the
think
table
it's I
because
think it's silly when females say that.
me, let's say for instance, me being in that guy's position, I'm making six figures, but she's not making anything. But she telling me she got good pussy, she can cook and she can clean. Well, first of all, I can get pussy anywhere. That's number one.
Yep, and I can
Number
cook and
two, I can
clean.
cook and clean myself. I can
Yep,
do just enough to survive. So that's not enough. For me to make six figures and you not making anything, you not bringing anything to the table, then this is definitely not going to work. And it goes back to what I
exactly.
said in the previous question was the social media era have these girls, and I'm gonna say girls, and they got them
Confused.
all screwed up because women know better, and if you knew better, you'll
Yeah.
do better. So I don't get it. I don't understand
Now,
it.
in all reality, I feel like because life changed a little bit, because it's not just females who are influenced or affected to a certain degree by like the things that social media do, because that's why I feel like there's no normal, or I guess I don't even know what to say. I don't think normal is the right word. Excuse me. Don't, like
Right,
anybody get mad at me for saying normal. But like a relationship where it's just like, the man and woman, like the old school relationship your grandma used to have, that whole, there was a time when women only had to cook and clean and provide good pussy and make sure, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
but it was different because the roles were, I don't know how to describe it. Like the
Well, I
times were
can
different,
describe
the
it for
roles
you. I know
were
how to
like,
describe it
yeah,
for
you
you.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, the cost of living is not what it was then, versus what it
oh
is
yeah,
now.
exactly.
So that's the
But
difference.
I'm
That's the
just
big
saying
difference.
the whole thinking so some females thinking like, oh, because I can cook and I can clean or whatever, like that's enough. They're still, it's weird because it's like they're young as far as age wise, but then they're stuck in that mentality like, oh, this is what's supposed to happen. A man's supposed to do this, a man's supposed to do that, but you can't like. It's just like I say all the time. Like I've had a dude tell me I didn't do what I was supposed to do as far as like a woman's supposed to do when it comes to like a relationship. And that means like the things he expected for me to do for him. But I'm like, sweetheart, we're not married.
Right,
Those are wife things. And I happen to be your girlfriend to a certain degree. Like you don't get wife privileges and you are my boyfriend versus my husband. And that's
right.
that's I feel like that's a big difference too nowadays. Like, and again, it all comes down to the whole, like I said, normal relationship stuff. But Nowadays, it's really not. Shit. Like, nothing's
Absolutely
normal.
right.
Like,
I totally agree with you. Now, let me ask you this. Let's talk about risk.
okay.
What's been the most significant
There's
risk?
lots.
What is the most significant risk you've taken in your dancer life and your everyday life?
Okay, so risk in my dancer life, I feel like my first time I did like a private party, like outside of actual club or in like a venue. It was very much a risk because I could have been in a lot of danger, basically. Like I could have been
Okay.
taken advantage of sexually. I could have been robbed because, like the money that I made when I went to leave, like the people that just paid me could have technically took it back from me if that's what they wanted to do. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I wasn't moving very smart when I first decided, like, oh, like, because it was like a guy I knew, and he's like, oh, it's my birthday, and will you come, to my house, and it's just gonna be me and a couple of my homeboys. And then when I showed up, it was like 10, 15 niggas and just me, and I was like, oh, okay. It could have turned bad. You know what I mean? Like it could have turned into a whole lot of a whole
Right.
lot of but luckily the guy whose birthday was like we happened to be like really really cool, so he made sure that like nothing happened to me. But from that I learned like I have my own security team. I
Okay.
move a certain way now, you know what I mean, like because of that, because it could have been really bad.
Right. Well, that's what I
But
was
I
going to
also
ask
know
you.
now, like as far as like dating like outside the clubs and things like that, no, none of that.
Well, that's good. But that was my next question to you. How's your detail, your security detail? Because, like I say, you do travel
Yeah.
a lot. You do travel a lot, and I can attest to
Hmm.
that. And I just wanted to make sure you had people, the right people in your corner as far as your
Yeah.
security.
Yeah, I mean, I got a little security squad, and then I can fight a little bit, but I also know how to shoot. like,
Right.
so don't get it twisted. Don't let the pretty shit fool you.
I know
Like,
that's right. Oh, question. One more. I got another question I want to ask.
okay,
I hear a lot of uproar about this damn rose. Just to this
I don't
day,
have one.
you say you have one,
I don't have. I,
or you
I
don't
don't
have one.
have one.
Okay, because
Yeah, I don't have one.
I hear a lot of females talking about this
So
damn rose.
I am actually an ambassador for a line of sex toys, and
Okay,
I've sold a lot of those, but I've never personally used one. Um, I don't like, I guess, like a lot of stimulation on my clit, and that's really what the rose is for. Like, and I mean, I'm pierced, so it's like it causes extra sensitivity versus feeling good, if that makes sense.
right.
So I've never tried it. I don't know. Like, I have no clue.
Okay. Well, you the
It looks
first.
fun, but like I've just never been into toys like that. Like usually if I like use a toy or something, it's really just for a show, like meaning like me like doing content or something versus like actually trying to get off because yeah, no.
Right.
I don't know, like I wouldn't pull no toy out if I was actually, about to get off, like, oh yeah, let's do this. Like I'm not gonna set up the room like I'm gonna get it on with my toy. Like,
Right.
like
So you prefer the actual thing then versus messing with this with the rose because for you to be a woman and
yeah,
not have one, that says something.
yeah. Yeah, I don't have one. I have no desire to have one.
Hey, you probably about the first woman I've heard say that.
Like, that's funny.
Right. You about
I
the
don't know.
first
Is that
woman
good
I.
or bad? Do I need to get one?
Well, I mean, I don't know. That's why I say, well, you know what? I'm gonna ask Secret this question to see how she, see what she says about it, because a lot of people are talking about ooh child, ooh girl, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the reviews, and I've had, like I said, I've had customers come back and tell me like, girl, I ain't even like, and I'm like, wait a minute, like, okay, well, yay, buy another one or buy something else. Like, like I don't know, like I'm just not, yeah. Toys are
So
not really my thing ever. Never really have
so
been.
how do you maintain a healthy relationship
What do you mean by that? Like,
if you're not using the
define
rose?
healthy. No, just
If you're not using,
like,
I mean, because when I say healthy, I mean
You mean like the frequency as far as like freaking and shit like that?
Yeah, when I say that, because some, a lot of
Okay, yeah,
time
yeah.
people use that to, how do I want to say this? People use that
To avoid getting
to
a body count.
unwind, you know, release some
Hmm.
pressure, release some stress, that sort of thing. So
No, I mean,
how do you maintain a healthy one?
let's see. Like I said, I don't use a toy, and I don't know. I think maybe because my job is more sexualized, like I don't feel that like pent up like need to, I guess.
Right, right,
I don't necessarily need to get a net off to go to sleep. I don't necessarily, you know what I mean? Like, so
right.
some people, that's kind of what it is. Like, okay, it's time to go to bed, and then boom, like I'm out. Like, no, I don't like me. First of all, like I said, I don't like toys anyway, but when it does come to like me masturbating, I could probably do that in like less than a minute and be satisfied and be
That
asleep.
relieves a lot of stress
Or,
and a
well,
lot of tension as well.
yeah. But that's the good part. And then also, like you said, it's more about like not wanting to just like be out there like that and continuously, add numbers to your bodies. Like I don't move like that.
And that was one of the topics of last week's show. I had London London Taylor on the show last
Passing
week,
that.
and one of the questions I asked with her, we kind of touched on that body count, and me and Tiana, we talked about it a couple weeks prior to that. I heard a model. Well, she wasn't a model. She's just I guess, an average girl. She was stating that having sex without a condom versus having sex with a condom. She said having sex with a condom that doesn't go against her body count.
What?
Right. I mean,
Is
your
she is she
reaction,
slow?
your reaction was just like mine. So I don't know how that works.
What?
I don't know how that works. So the interviewer asked her, okay, well, you got a boyfriend?
How's that work?
Right. He said, you got a boyfriend? She said, yeah. She said, well, can he go out and have sex without a condom or with a condom? And she said, well, guys don't see things that way. Our guys can't do that. But what should be good for her should be good for him.
What?
I'm confused too. I'm
Yeah,
confused too.
I'm convinced. I'm convinced she definitely got to be slow. Cause what? That doesn't make no sense at all. First of all, anytime you're taking a dick, raw or condom or
It's a
protected or
body.
whatever, you're taking it. So
Right.
that still adds. If
Absolutely.
it's a different person, if it's a different person, it's another body. You know what I'm saying? Like that's weird. Like that's the only thing that happens with the condom is technically if you believe in certain things, but besides the whole like STD thing, it's more about the soul ties. Like when they say like
Right.
when you sleep with people, like you know what I'm saying, like you exchange like your like
The
spirits and
fluids.
things
The
like that.
fluids.
So that
Yes.
to me,
Right.
with females, that makes the difference when it comes to like like you going raw with somebody.
Right.
But anytime you take a deep, protected or not, you still taking it. So how does that not count as like how does that not count? That's weird. I don't know. That's weird.
Well,
That's
that was
weird.
her take on it. But like I say, it's just the
But then
social
she
media
said her
era.
but then she said her dude couldn't go out and do
He
that.
couldn't do it. A dude couldn't do it. You know, it was only. I guess it was only.
Again, at what guys been doing that? Like I'm confused. Like what? It's guys who they got things whoever they do it. They sleeping with this chick raw. This one's protected. Da, 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 but it's still the same guy. He's just dealing with multiple girls. Like how is that? I don't know. That's weird. She's
Right. It's
weird.
weird. Weird. Absolutely nuts. Hold on one second. I got to let me pay a bill again. Okay. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. I'm Kelvin, your host of Situations the podcast, and today's episode was sponsored by Personalized Keepsake. So let's unlock timeless memories with Personalized Keepsakes, where they're crafting personalized clocks and personalized keychains for cherished moments. Get yours today by calling 312 456 0001. Once again, that's 312 456 0001, and tell them Kelvin sent you. Okay, Secret. Well, Secret, I want to say once again, it was a pleasure Always talking with you,
Yay! I had fun.
and you know I love working with you. So we have to. We definitely gonna
I'll
have
be
to work
back
again.
soon.
Okay, I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on you. So what I need you to do at this particular time, I need you to tell everybody, who you are once again, how they can get in contact with you, and things of that nature.
Okay. All right. Well, it's your girl Secret. Right here. Hi. You can find me on Instagram under Secret Asia. I do have a Facebook under Secret Shaylin, and then I don't have a Snap anymore, but we'll talk about that if you ever reach out to me.
Okay. All right. Well, let me. I got a few things I want to add to that. In closing,
Okay.
I would like to thank everybody that have tuned in, and remember to stay blessed, stay tuned, stay grown, and we definitely see you guys next week. Once again, Secret, man, it's always a pleasure working with you. It's always a
Thank
pleasure
you.
speaking with you. You know, you growing on me. You starting to be like one of my favorite persons to ever to work with because of your personality, and I just love it. I love everything about it. So we definitely got to work again real soon. When you think you'll be
Yeah.
back?
I'm planning. I'm gonna come back like the first week of April,
First weekend
probably
of what?
after my game, like, cause my game is the 30th.
Okay,
Dallas for the Buns of basketball, and
okay,
then that following weekend I'll probably come up to Chicago, because
okay.
then I'll have to go to Cleveland next. Like, but I'm ready to shoot again.
Right, right. Okay, well, I
We're
want you
gonna
to.
do something like this. Look, I like this. We gotta do something like this
Well,
one.
yeah, show the
This
people, show the
this.
people your outfit before we go. Okay. All right, all right, all right. I see you. All right,
Brown
stay.
on brown, okay.
Right, stay on the line. Don't hang up. Stay with us. We're
Okay.
gonna close out. Once again, everybody, I
Okay.
appreciate all that tuned in, and make sure tune in next week. We will have another special guest for you.